Well, okay guys, I finally got this in. This is the diversity receiver from Quanum. It is a 5.8 gigahertz 32 channel plus the 8 race band channel. So it throws a lot of people, you know, because it is 40 channel, but they say 32 plus 8, which is a little confusing. But nonetheless, this is a really cool, I'm going to refocus here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this receiver, and I'm going to tell you a couple of the reasons why I think this is one of the better receivers out there. It has so many cool little functions that you guys are just going to be pretty amazed by it. You're going to obviously have a bunch of these video cables that come with it that you're able to connect into different types of connections here. I also have a JST connector, which is right here, which goes into the power. So of course they include some of the rubber ducky antennas, just in case you happen to be new to the hobby and you don't have some of the more expensive, higher quality antennas out there. So these will get you going on your way. They include this cable here, which I really have no idea which is for, because there's no spot for it to plug into what's in here. This could be some sort of an update cable. You might have to take the case apart to run this, but I'm not really sure. And last but not least, they have this some sort of a mounting bracket, which corresponds to what is on the back here, and I'm not sure exactly what this corresponds to, but we might find that out in the future. Now they did send me a 2.4 gigahertz diversity in receiver and a 5.8. Now guys, I don't run 2.4 gigahertz video, and I don't have any video transmitters that transmit 2.4 as well, so I might be giving this away in the future as a new unit since I haven't used this yet, but we'll put this aside for now. Alright. Okay guys, so what you can see here is this is me right here. There I am. This is my Quanum V2 monitor I just pulled out of there. And this is my battery setup, so it's a real simple setup right here. So let me go ahead and zoom in and we'll go over some of the features of this unit. So this is the screen you will initially see when you plug everything in. You have your channel here, you have your RSSI strength on both antennas. It'll show you up here, the red is the one, it's kind of pinkish actually, the reddish pink here is which antenna is receiving its current signal. The blue is the one that is turned off at the moment. This tells you which antenna it is receiving on as well. It says diversity mode 2. So this is your mode right here, and this also tells you which channel you're on, which is C45790, and it gives you a little spectrum analyze graph right here. And the way you're going to control this thing is by this little toggle switch, and this is up, down, right, left, and select by pressing down on this. So let's go over some of the features here. So if you just hit the button here, it says at the very top, which is where we're at, this says channel scan. I hope you guys can read that. So what we can do is we can actually hit channel scan button, and it's going to sort through all the channels that it finds, and you'll see here that it has A3, which is channel A3, and a V, which stands for verified, and 5780. You go through all these. We have B4V, C4V, and A4 with no V. This is A4, which means that it is not a verified channel, so it's mainly one of the ghost channels, which is going to be on the side of this thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back, and I'm going to exit this screen, and now we're back into our main screen. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle right and left. When I toggle right and left, it's going to take me through all those four channels that we just looked through. So I'm going to toggle to the right here. There's A4. This is the non-verified channel. You can see why that is. There's A3, B4, and C4, which is the channel I'm actually tuned to on my legit wing over there. So that shows you the top 4 channels that were being used. Now if you're at a race or something like that, you can actually find out which channels are being used this way, as well as using the channel as well as using the spectrum analyzer mode. Okay, so let's go into the next mode here. So we're just going to push down on the main button, and that's channel scan mode. We're also in diversity mode. Diversity mode comes as default, and that's something that you'll be using most of the time. Now independent mode is an interesting thing. So when you have independent mode, you can actually take this receiver and basically split it into 2 receivers, because it has 2 output jacks here. This antenna will basically be receiving and outputting on this, and this antenna right here will be outputting on the second feed. So you can actually watch 2 people's races at the same time if you're just sitting on the sidelines just watching things. So that's pretty cool. Here we are for the spectrum analyzer. So what the spectrum analyzer is going to do is going to tell you what are the top channels that are in use right now, which is a really useful thing. Let's say if you're at a race, so it'll show you your strongest one here, and on the side here it'll tell you the top 4 strongest signals that you're out there. Another really important thing if you're at a race. Alright, so let's go back to the main menu here, and we're going to go scroll down through. Now this next thing says skip low RSSI, and I have this checked so that you're not catching any of the low RSSI channels. So it basically tells it to ignore channels that are really low, which is a nice thing. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom, which says exit, and I'm going to hit next. There's 2 pages of menu items here. So battery max and minimum. So if you're plugging in a 2S or 3S or 4S battery, you can set your battery max and your battery minimum, so it'll beep when it's your main battery is getting low here. Let's go down to RSSI mode, and this basically, instead of having a bar for your RSSI, it'll give you a numeric value. Let me just go ahead and check this here. So now if you see, I'm 100% here and 86% here because this has no antenna on it. So that gives you instead of a percentage bar, it gives you actually numbers, and you can do that the same thing for the battery. So you could have 11.4 for your battery, and then your RSSI beep is when your receiver is switching from one antenna to another. It gives you a little beep just saying, hey, I'm changing antennas, and if you want that turned off, you can turn that off. So let's go back to the main screen again. Okay guys, well I'm having the same problem that Bruce had on his video with the video switcher. I've got my Quanum V2s here, I've got the Rssi receiver here, and you can see that I'm currently feeding off of feed 1, which is correct, and I have the other antenna just not on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this over to the other, and then I'm going to walk into the other room and see how long it actually takes for it to realize that the one signal is lower than the other. So this is going to go through about 3 walls, because there's about 3 different walls between here and where I'm going to be going. So I'll see if I can get a picture of the feed and the screen at the same time, so we can kind of see when it kind of fuzzes out here. So here we go. So you can see it's starting to go down here. It's going to 97%, and walking into the, okay, so I've just gone past a wall, and we are to 65%. Oh, and it just switched right there. That's pretty amazing, because it didn't do that before. Okay, so let me go ahead and it didn't do it that fast that last time. Let's switch this over to the other side now, and we'll see how long it takes to switch back over. So now it's feeding, it's getting the signal right now from the red side, which is 2. This side is 1. I was just doing this, and it took about a full minute before it would actually switch over. So I'm the farthest point in my office here from where we are supposed to be, and I've got my body in between here. And for whatever reason, when I have the antenna on number 1, it gets a much better signal, because over here it was fluctuating down to about 71, down to about 45 or so. Let's see if we can go here by the wall here if it gets a little bit worse. So it's down to 54, still not changing, 68, 65. I mean, with that big of a difference, it really should be changing. 46%. Okay, finally, it went down to 46%, and took about 30 seconds to a minute. I mean, if you guys are flying, that's a huge deal, okay? So anyway, hopefully this video helps you guys out. I'm not sure what's going on with this. I'm going to give HobbyKing a call and see if they have any insight to what might be happening. Okay, well there you go, guys. So I had filmed my review of these before I actually watched Bruce's review on these, and I actually tested the receiver after I did my review, and I got the same exact results that he did, that basically the switcher on the receiver is not reacting fast enough. So that's quite a concern. I'm going to go ahead and give HobbyKing a ring and see what might be going on with this VRX to see why it's not switching immediately when it finds a huge difference in between RSSI levels. So anyway, bar that, this is a very good receiver. I've had pretty good luck with it. I flew with it this last weekend. But once again, I never heard it beep to switch between, basically I had my 3-turn helical and also my clover leaf. So, alright guys, hopefully this review helps you out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.